Georgia, 1974. The sun beats down on a roadside diner. Muhammad Ali steps out of a black Cadillac. His eyes lock onto a faded sign above the door. Whites only. His entourage freezes. Champ, please. Not here. Not today. But Ali? He's already walking toward the entrance. What he said in the next 10 minutes left the entire diner in tears. And what happened next would change that town forever. This is October 1974, just weeks after the rumble in the jungle. Ali had just shocked the world, defeating George Foreman in Zaire. He was the heavyweight champion again, the most famous athlete on planet Earth. Traveling with him that day, Howard Bingham, his photographer and best friend, Angelo Dundee, his legendary trainer, and a small security detail that knew exactly how dangerous rural Georgia could be for a black man who refused to stay quiet. They were driving back from a charity event, hungry, tired, looking for a place to eat. Then they saw it, a diner, small, American flags in the windows, and that sign. Most men would have kept driving, but Muhammad Ali wasn't most men. The bell above the door jingles as Ali pushes it open. Silence. Forks stop midair. Conversations die. Every head turns. A waitress drops a coffee pot. It shatters on the linoleum floor, but no one moves to clean it up. Ali walks to the counter, slowly, deliberately. His crew follows, reluctant, hands twitching near their sides. From behind the counter, a man emerges. White apron, thick arms, a face that's seen decades of the same routine, the same rules, the same line drawn in the sand. The owner. He wipes his hands on his apron and stares at Ali, not with awe, with warning. You can't be in here. Ali doesn't blink. Why not? The owner points to the sign. You see what it says. I see it, Ali replies. I'm asking why it says it. The temperature in the room drops. Someone in a back booth whispers, Lord help us. The owner's jaw tightens. This is private property. I got the right to serve who I want. Ali nods, calm, respectful, but firm. You got the right. That's true. But you also got the law. Civil Rights Act of 1964 says you can't refuse service based on color. The owner scoffs. This ain't Washington, son. This is Georgia. And I'm an American, Ali says. Same as you. A man at a corner table mutters, he's got a point. Earl. The owner, Earl, shoots him a look that could cut glass. The man goes quiet. Ali continues. You a Christian man, Earl? Earl hesitates. What's that got to do with anything? Everything. Jesus broke bread with sinners, with tax collectors, with people society rejected. You telling me he'd turn me away for the color of my skin? Silence again, but this time it's heavier, uncomfortable. Earl shifts his weight. This ain't about religion. Then what's it about? No answer. Ali leans forward, not threatening, but present, undeniable. You know who I am, Earl? I know. Then you know what these hands can do. Ali raises them slowly, the hands that knocked out Sonny Liston, that danced around Joe Frazier, that silenced George Foreman. The room tenses. Someone near the door edges toward the exit. Earl's hand moves below the counter. Angelo Dundee steps forward, but Ali stops him with a look. I could tear this place apart, Ali says quietly, but I won't. You know why? Earl says nothing. Because violence is easy. Any fool can throw a punch. But change, real change, that takes something stronger. Earl's hand stays below the counter. What do you want? I want lunch, and I want you to think about what you're really protecting here. Ali's voice softens. The whole diner's listening now. Earl, who taught you to hate me? The question hangs in the air like smoke. What? Who taught you? You weren't born hating black folks. Babies don't hate, so somebody taught you. Was it your father? Earl's face reddens. My father was a good man. I believe you, but who taught him? See, hate is passed down like a recipe, generation to generation, and nobody ever questions the ingredients. Ali pauses. Then he tells a story. When I was 12 years old, somebody stole my bicycle. Red Schwinn. I love that bike. I was crying, saying I was going to whoop whoever took it. A police officer named Joe Martin found me. White man. He said, "You better learn how to fight before you go making threats." The diner is spellbound. Joe Martin didn't see a black kid. He saw a kid who needed help. He trained me, believed in me. If he'd seen the sign on your door first, I wouldn't be standing here today. I wouldn't be champion of the world. Allie looks around the room. How many Joe Martins you think this sign has kept out? How many chances? How many friendships? How many futures? Earl's hand finally comes out from under the counter. Empty. Before we continue, tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Let's see how far this story reaches. Allie turns to the other customers. A young couple, an elderly man, a family with 2 kids staring wide-eyed. Any of y'all agree with this sign? No one speaks. If you don't agree, why you eating under it? Why you letting it speak for you? The young man in the booth clears his throat. It's always been there. Always? Allie's eyebrows rise. How old are you, son? 23. So you're telling me you've been alive 23 years, and in all that time, nobody thought to ask if maybe, just maybe, the sign was wrong? The young man looks down. Allie presses on. Every time you walk past that sign and say nothing, you're saying it's fine. Every time you eat a meal here, you're paying for that hate to stay on the wall. A woman in a floral dress dabs her eyes with a napkin. The elderly man stares at his plate, his jaw working like he's chewing on something bitter. Allie pulls out his wallet, thick with cash. He sets $500 bills on the counter. Earl, I'll make you a deal. I'll buy lunch for everyone in here. Everyone, on one condition. Earl stares at the money. What condition? You take down the sign. Murmurs ripple through the diner. The elderly man whispers, "Do it, Earl." Allie taps the bills. Money doesn't have a color, does it? It spends the same no matter who hands it to you. So if my money's good enough, why ain't I? A nervous laugh breaks out from someone in the back. The tension cracks just slightly. Allie's voice drops. Gentle now, almost a whisper. Earl, when you die, what do you want people to say about you? Earl's eyes glisten. What? At your funeral, when folks gather and tell stories, you want them to remember you as the man who kept people out or the man who let them in? Earl's shoulders sag. For the first time, he looks small, tired. I don't know how to change. Allie nods. That's the first honest thing you've said today. He steps closer. Change starts with one choice, one moment. This can be yours. Earl's voice cracks. What if people get mad? What if I lose business? Then you'll lose the wrong kind of business, Allie says, and you'll gain something more valuable, your soul. The woman in the floral dress stands up. Earl, take the sign down, please. The elderly man nods. It's time, Earl. One by one, voices join in, quiet at first, then louder. Earl's face crumples. Tears stream down his weathered cheeks. Earl walks to the door. His hands shake as he reaches for the sign. He hesitates, a lifetime of conditioning pulling him back. Then he rips it down. The sound of tearing wood and metal echoes through the diner. Someone gasps, someone else cheers. Earl holds the broken sign in his hands, stares at it, then throws it in the trash behind the counter. He turns to Allie. I'm sorry. Allie extends his hand. Then prove it. They shake. The diner erupts in applause. People are crying, laughing, hugging strangers. The young couple kisses. The elderly man takes off his hat, wipes his eyes. Allie's crew exhales. Howard Bingham snaps a photo. Click. Allie kept his word. He bought lunch for everyone, sat at the counter, talked, laughed, signed autographs on napkins. But he didn't leave it at that. Over the next year, Allie returned to that diner 6 times, sometimes announced, sometimes not. Each time he brought more people, more conversations, more change. Earl integrated his staff, hired a black cook, then a black waitress. The diner became a gathering place, a symbol. In 1976, Earl wrote Allie a letter. It's preserved in a museum now. Part of it reads, "You could have hurt me that day. Instead, you saved me. My diner is full now, full of all kinds of people, And I'm proud of that. Thank you for seeing something in me I couldn't see in myself. Ali never responded to the letter directly, but he kept it in his wallet until the day he died. Today, that diner is gone. Torn down in 1998 to make room for a highway, but in its place stands a community center, and on the wall a plaque. On this site, Muhammad Ali proved that the greatest fights aren't won with fists. They're won with words, courage, and an unshakable belief that people can change. The lesson is clear: hate is taught, but so is love. And sometimes all it takes is one person willing to stand in the doorway and ask the hard questions. Ali didn't just fight in the ring. He fought everywhere, in diners, in courtrooms, in hearts and minds. And he never stopped believing that people, even the ones holding up the wrong signs, were worth saving. If this story moved you, share it, because the world still has signs that need to come down. And it starts with us. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. Let's make Ali proud.